One of the topics you might spend time talking about your clients with is strengths, which is a brilliant area to focus on with your clients. When we think about strengths, there are many tools out there, whether it's the VIA, the Values in Action Signature Strengths Test, known as the VIA, or the Strengths Profile, which is one of my preferreds. There are many tools you can use. One of the things that's really important with strengths is what they call identify, use, and develop. Most people use the identify and use, as in they identify it through an assessment and then use it. And yet it's really important we focus on the develop component. Now, develop could be strengths constellations where you bring certain things together, such as with the strengths profile, what's known as the MAD cluster, which is basically the making a difference cluster of mission, legacy, and service. Or you might look at how two strengths really come together to help you with a challenging situation. You might look at what they call strengths tilt, which is how your strengths are potentially tilting you in the direction that you want to learn more of the areas that are focused on your strengths. So there's all sorts of things that we can do to develop our strengths, whether it's dialing them up, dialing them down. And it's a wonderful tool to use, whether you're coaching in therapy, if you're looking at working with teams, etc. Strengths is an amazing component. I thought what might be useful, though, is to think about, let's not just look at the ones that come out of the top of someone's profile. Let's look at ones that maybe come a little bit further down, and yet we know are linked to higher levels of well-being. So if you look, for instance, at some of the results from the VIA, you'll see that things that are most closely linked to higher levels of well-being are those wonderful things with an emotional component. So guess what? Hope and optimism, zest and vitality, gratitude and appreciation, curiosity and interest, and the capacity to love and be loved. Isn't it awesome? Those are some of the ones that are actually more highly linked to high levels of well-being. Now, if they're lowest on your list, don't focus on them. But if a couple of those are maybe midpoint, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, maybe some of the things you could encourage yourself or your clients to work with is zest, for instance, throwing yourself into life, zest and vitality, or gratitude or optimism. These are all wonderful strengths to cultivate. And again, when we talk about develop, we want to talk about when to use them appropriately in the right situation, when to dial them up, when to dial them down.